T-Pain. You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. Oh, I can't believe it. Ooh, ooh, she all on me.
You know, back then, I was the music Jesus, man. You want to get saved, come to the church of T-Pain, and I'll slam you a hook on there, and I'll make sure you're good for at least 3 more years, and you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying?
All she doing is acting like she want me. Even though I'm not your man, you're not my girl, I'ma call you my shawty. 'Cause I can't stand to see you treated bad. I beat his ass for my shawty. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Welcome to legendary T-Pain.
I know you waiting on me, baby, can you hold on? Just make sure when I get there, you ain't got clothes on. 'Cause you gon' ride that to a slow song.
I firmly believe you're one of the most influential artists of our generation.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
When we talk about it here at Genius and the staff talks about it, you could really look at music before T-Pain and after T-Pain.
For sure.
And it sounds a little different, and you can hear the influence damn near in almost everybody.
I appreciate it.
You know, whether they acknowledge it, whether they know it, it might be indirectly or directly.
They usually don't.
But they usually don't. We're going to acknowledge it here today. But I want to start this conversation off, and we're going to talk about your influence all night.
Right.
But I want to know, young T-Pain, who was it that influenced you when you first started? Who were the guys that you looked up to?
I mean, you know, I think for me to look up to you, you had to have an attribute of just and a reputation of not giving a shit what anybody says about what you're doing. So, you know, the usual Andre 3000s, the CeeLos, the Busta Rhymes. You know, when Luda used to do the funniest shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, people wasn't really being comedic in their music, you know, back when I was growing up. So, you know, to see Luda do all the funny videos and shit like that, like, it was real special to me. Eminem, obviously, you know,
Right.
didn't give a shit what anybody said. And, you know, it's just, I just wanted to be one of those artists that I can just do whatever I want to and not care about what I get back from it, or, you know what I'm saying, or what people got to say about it. So, you know, it's just it wasn't like a big onslaught of people, but definitely a major forward, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, David Banner was a big
Shout out to
influence.
David Banner, unsung.
Absolutely, yeah. That's really who I got my, you know, Busta Rhymes / David Banner is who I got my performance skills from, because, you know, they always gave the crowd more than what they came with. So, yeah, that definitely, everybody had a different part to play in how I got influenced.
And you got the One Up tour starting.
Yeah,
So
One
the
Up
crowd's
tour.
definitely going to get more than what they came for.
For sure.
Yeah. Was there, you know, growing up as a kid, was there a particular song that maybe was played around the house or played around the crib, or a moment that you kind of fell in love with music and realized, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
That was Lift Every Voice and Sing. Wow. That was my dad. That was my dad's favorite song. That was the first song I learned how to play on the keyboard. So, you know, it once he got me a keyboard and I told him I learned how to play his favorite song, and then that took off from there. He started buying me more and more stuff. Every time I got more advanced, he would make sure my equipment advanced as well. So, you know, my dad was a big part in that, and, you know, I think Lift Every Voice and Sing that's the one that kicked it off.
Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about your dad, too, in a second, because one of my favorite T-Pain songs, man, you got hit for days, man. Like, we walk into the club, there's a T-Pain set. You walk into the strip club, there's about 3 T-Pain set.
Right.
You know, you turn on the radio.
and also T-Pain.
You're going to hear some T-Pain. One of my favorite songs from you is Stoicville. Because beyond the hits, that songs like that really let me know who you were as a man and as a person. And I just want to play a piece of it just to set the tone. Can we play a piece of Stoicville?
Oh, shit, we got playlists in this bitch?
Whoever thought a youngin' from a city full of rattlesnakes was ever gonna make it out the grass patch? 7 Hills had me looking for a better deal. A hood nigga, I couldn't count on the NASDAQ.
That's something, man.
You know, we try.
That's something.
Thank you.
Nobody believed in what I'm doing.
Right. Not at all. It wasn't the right thing to do, because I wanted to sing. But, you know, coming from Tallahassee at that time, if you were trying to sing when everybody else was trying to rap, you was soft. You was soft. You was the cornball. You just, you know what I'm saying? Why ain't you doing this gangster shit that everybody else doing? So, you know, it it was lost on everybody that I wanted to sing, especially looking how I did. Super fucking ugly. You just don't get into it. Back in them days, if you wasn't light skinned, just don't try to sing at all.
Listen, but you're post Bobby Brown era too. Listen, man, Bobby, and he fuck you up.
Right. Well, you kind of already had to be rich or just be famous from when you was fucking 12. So it was, don't get in the game and try to be dark skinned and sing. It just don't go together.
You talked about your father a little bit earlier, and there was a specific lyric that I wanted to key in on. You probably answered the question already, but can we throw this up there? My daddy proud of me, but he got too much pride to say it out loud for me. Got that keyboard off the road and brought it in the house for me.
Yeah.
You mentioned the keyboard. Like, it's funny, we on the same wavelength. But what was the story of the keyboard? Where'd he get the keyboard from?
My dad was thrifty. If that's, I think that's a word for it. Frugal, if you will. But he saw what he figured was a perfectly good working keyboard on the side of the road outside of somebody's house. It looked like it still worked. It was pretty clean. Didn't have dirt on it. He picked that bitch up, brought it in the house. It absolutely did have dirt on it. But now we got all the dirt out of it, and that bitch fired up. It didn't record or anything. It didn't do anything, but I could hook it up and play it along with songs on the radio. So, once that started happening, then that's how it developed, learning how to play keyboard by ear.
That's was your dad into music? Was anybody in your family into music before?
He had a few. He had a group. You know what I'm saying? So he did music. He owned a restaurant and forced people to listen to his music in the restaurant and shit.
What kind of music did he do?
It was more of conscious music. You know what I'm saying? He'd rap a lot and sing too. But he did a theme song for Muhammad Ali that he used for like a year. So that was pretty cool.
That Muhammad Ali used?
Yeah.
You said that like that's a small. This Muhammad Ali.
I mean, niggas wasn't coming out to Drake in the 70s.
What wasn't the Floyd Mayweather era?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that Kodak Black next to you.
So. You said you started out singing, lift every voice and sing.
Yeah.
But you felt like you had to do something, just rap. You had to be harder to be accepted.
Well, yeah, this is what everybody was telling me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew I could rap. I came from a rap group. So once I branched off and started singing, everybody was like, well, this is fucking stupid.
Right.
And but it worked out, man. I took the leap and landed on a mattress.
Well, we got a video of some early T-Pain bars. Can we play
boy.
that?
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
Can I rap
fuck.
Go ahead, dude. Okay, all right, check it out, man. Well, I'm T-Pain, and this the king of the clique and the mastermind of all this wicked rap shit that make you fall behind. And I ain't joking, man. Pain be the name. In fact, I got all of my dogs in the back of the shack, and I ain't poking, man. Your girl just wanna suck on my meat. You give me 25 grand, I let you suck on my beat. It's like I'm stuck on my feet, cause I ain't falling down for no man. Hit you with the 9 and have you feeling like a snowman.
Yeah, man.
That was trash.
I feel like we could judge your career by the length of your dreads at the time. It's like rings on the tree.
Oh, man. That was trash. Okay.
Nah, but rapping was and you could clearly rap. This is not up for debate.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right.
According to the internet.
All right.
Can't nobody rap according to the fucking internet. God damn. Give it a break, everybody.
I want to go.
You got to like something. Like, I don't like nothing? Ever? It's always
Everything's trash.
Everything's trash.
Around 2004, Akon is popping and Locked Up.
Yeah.
Is the song you hear all over the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And you did like a freestyle. You did your own rendition.
I did.
We got a piece of that too. Let's go.
God damn
Fucked
it.
Up.
What are y'all?
T-Pain, this is your life.
Tryna be a roller, tryna hit this outside. Now they done put one in, fucked up my transmission, but they don't know about
Trash.
Wait. But was this the thing that got you noticed by Akon? What got you noticed by Akon?
Because I shot a video to it and everything. So, it was, this is what got me noticed by Akon. And he came down and I played a DVD of the video in his fucking excursion. That's how long ago it was. A goddamn brand new excursion, too. It's crazy. I've never seen a truck that big. But it was, he met me in Atlanta. And, that was the first meeting I ever had, with anybody being interested in wanting to sign me. So, we considered it, and then my dad wanted to go to different places and stuff like that. So, we explored it, but ultimately came back to Akon for that.
Who else was in play? Could you say who else was in play at that time?
Interscope Records, Atlantic, Geffen.
Atlantic.
Geffen at that point. Shit.
I think Geffen back.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Geffen's making a comeback.
Okay,
man.
well, please give me some money then. No, but there was a lot of people that, that wanted a piece of the pie because I had just started writing. And, I was originally signed under Akon as a writer. I was supposed to be just a writer for him.
And not an artist?
No, not an artist. But the first song I wrote for Akon was I'm Sprung.
Hold on. Rewind selector. I'm Sprung, your first single, the thing that really put you on the map, was originally intended for Akon.
Yeah, and I showed it to him, and at the time, I think he had, he was doing stuff with Jeezy. I think he had the Soul Survivor joint and stuff like that. So he was on like a real super gangster thing at the time. So I mean, really, he was like, I don't make songs for women. I don't make songs for girls. Like it's not gonna be about a chick. It's not gonna be nothing. Bring me some gangster shit. And I was like, cool, let me get that CD back real quick. I took that bitch to the club in Tallahassee. I was like, yeah, this is my new shit.
Right. So I'm Sprung, was it a reference track, like even what we hear, or did you go back and lay?
No, it's exactly what you hear right now. It's the same exact thing.
So you laid that for Akon and
absolutely.
It ain't hit him the same way it hit the rest of us.
It slapped different. But it hit my heart, man, because I had put so much work in them harmonies. I felt like a G while I was in there killing them harmonies. I was like, this nigga gonna like this. Trash.
So this is the lead single for your debut album, Rapper Turned Singer.
Yeah.
Can we see that? I want to see that album cover, man. First of all, I feel like us, the collective us, I'm talking about you and me, just realized maybe a year ago that those chains were a part of the shirt.
Yeah.
I really thought you had all them chains, man.
That's pretty cool. I just want to start off by saying that shirt was readily available for anybody at the time. Anybody could have bought that shirt. The shirt they had for me to wear under that, it didn't fit, so somebody had to go to the mall and just grab a shirt real quick. You know what's fucked up? This wasn't even the album cover I picked. The jacket I have on has Stevie Wonder on the back of it, and I was supposed to be facing the opposite way to show the picture on the back of the jacket. That jacket was $800. I didn't have that shit at the time. I wanted to show off the Stevie Wonder shit.
Sure came out your budget, though, I'm sure.
It absolutely came out my budget. Akon took it.
But let's go back a little bit because, all right, you started out as a singer. You wanted to sing first, lift every voice and sing.
Right.
They told you, man, get out of here. You need something harder. So you started rapping.
Well, yeah, at first, the singing came in handy because I was doing hooks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we all needed hooks for every song, but I would also rap on the song. So it was, I just started hanging around more and more rappers. All my brothers was rappers, so it just became a thing that I just did, just getting into it. But yeah, once the singing started happening after that, then it was like, okay, let's calm down now. Let's go back to rapping. You was doing good. Just keep doing that.
Okay, but but then you get to rapper turned singer.
Yeah.
And again, this is the moment when I talk about that change before and after T-Pain.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is that moment. I think we hear I'm Sprung, and there's some familiar things to it, because to me, originally, I remember first hearing the song, and it sounded like Miami bass, a little bit, just the way the bass slapped, which is very familiar. But at that time, we weren't quite getting that. And then the auto-tune.
Right.
Which we weren't used to hearing quite the way that you used it.
Yeah. It was seen as a gimmick. And everybody thought I was going to be going after that, so... that didn't work out. But it became a staple. I didn't know I was gonna do that. I just wanted to sound different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was just gonna be another cat coming out with his natural voice, I'd just be another singer. So I needed something to set myself apart while still being able to use my harmony and turn my voice into an instrument. So basically, I saw all my songs at the time as instrumentals, even with my vocals on it. So it just felt like, I would give the people some context on where this instrumental should take you, and how it should make you feel, and what emotions we should hit at the time. So, lyrics and things like that and concepts were very vague to me because I didn't care about them. Right. I just really wanted you to hear these melodies, and I guess I'll say words while I'm doing it.
Right.
So it wasn't like a thing, which is why my songs came out so natural. You know what I'm saying? It was a point to me to make normal situations. I didn't want to make a new dance. I didn't want to make new sayings or new any of this. Like here's the shit that happens all the time. Right. Somebody's got to relate to this, and here you go.
So that was your whole.
Yeah, and still to this day. Yeah, still to this day.
Because we're gonna get to that later because it's a pretty dope method. You don't write, right? You just kind of go off the head in the booth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try not to write. It take too long. I forgot how to write in cursive. It's just a lot of things that don't, killing trees. It's a lot. It's a lot. No reason.
I want to get back to this, though, because it reminds me of a little bit where we are today, and this is more of a commentary on the fans, and again, us, the collective us. What a shame that a young artist who can sing and has a voice, because when we all saw the NPR concert, everybody was like, oh my God, T-Pain could sing. When we saw the Masked Singer, it was like, oh my God, he could really sing without auto-tune. Even though you had done it, you didn't use auto-tune in every song. What a shame that you as a young artist felt that you couldn't come out with your natural singing voice, that you needed a gimmick. Yeah. And I look at a lot of these young artists today with, it's not totally the same, but with the trolling on Instagram, it might be a rapper, and you might really can rap, but you feel like you got to do something crazy for somebody to
and then
you're
just known for that thing, and not really for your music. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool. People just don't realize. Even Ebro now still says, I can't tell when you're not using auto-tune. Wow. Like, even when I'm not using it, you just can't tell. And, people ask me, why did I ever use auto-tune? And cover up my voice with it. And like I said, it was just to set me apart. But on my first album, there was minimal auto-tune. Like, I didn't use auto-tune a lot on my first album.
I'm in Love with a Stripper.
That was
barely had any, right? It was
it was just on the breakdowns. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and people didn't notice. Nobody had any idea. They just was so used to hearing me with auto-tune. It was just like, I guess that's still there. I guess that's just what it sounds like. But the fact that I kept using it and things like that, people got weird about it. But I'm like, my first album didn't have that much auto-tune on it. My second album was full of auto-tune. Right. Second album went double platinum. Right. First album still sitting at gold. I'm probably gonna keep doing this one.
If we get into the money, but it also goes to listen. People often ask for things that they don't really want.
They don't want it. Nobody knows what the fuck they want, man.
Is it true? I heard. Where did you get the idea to use just start messing with auto-tune? Like, what was the thing that you heard?
I heard it on a Jennifer Lopez song.
Hold on, we got that too. We can play it for you.
Yeah, I heard it on the Jennifer Lopez song. It was a Dark Child remix of "If You Had My Love."
I got you for reference. Can we hear that?
Yeah, it was weird. And she only used it for a second in the whole thing.
So basically, you saw the reaction of the people, and especially with the second album, and figured, listen, I should stick with this.
Absolutely. It seemed to get, more traction, and, people didn't notice it anyway, so what's the use? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't have a point to prove, and, more and more people started using it, so I was like, man, I'm not going to stop first for sure. You ain't about to kick me out of my shit. So, I just kept going, man. It felt fun anyways. Auto-tune is fun as hell. Like, even when you just find it and use it on different apps on your phone, like, it's just fun to do. Right. So, everybody want to sound like a perfect pitch singer, so why not?
I get it, man. Not long after the first album, man, you really became, throughout your career, you became this in-demand feature, in-demand collaborator. and the way that I imagine, I feel like, and this was me from the outside looking in at the time. I wasn't in the industry or in any of these label meetings, but it kind of felt like labels would adjust album release dates based off of when they can clear the T-Pain feature. Because it was always like the first single was a T-Pain feature.
And it wasn't, it was different, man, because, people weren't collaborating like that back then. Right. And, even my management at the time was like, hey, so this guy wants to put this song out this date, but this other guy wants to put this song out like right after that. I'm like, all right, let's do it. He's like, but that's 2 songs. And I'm like, that's fine. It's like, let's just keep going. I did all the songs I wanted to do. Everybody keep calling me. Let's keep putting it out. Why not be everywhere?
Do you remember your first feature request?
Yes. It was the Youngbloods.
Oh.
Yeah, the Youngbloods. Yeah, me and Sean Paul got together at the studio, but you know, the first major joint was E40.
You and that?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that one? Yeah. You and that monkey. You also you also produce and you write. You also wrote for Charlie Wilson.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I definitely produced and wrote that, and he took the credit, but that's fine. No big deal. He Dr. Dre'd me.
Did that trip you out? You know, because that's Uncle Charlie. The
Yeah,
song's
that
called
was
You Got
cool.
Nerve.
It was cool, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. We did. We actually did like a few songs. You know, that was just the one that stuck. But, you know, having Charlie Wilson in my house recording these things was a trip to me. So it was different. But you know, I knew I had a job to do, and I had to get well versed on Charlie Wilson on how he sings real quick, just to get to his writing style and get to his singing style and make them mesh. But man, that was a trip, dude. I did not understand. I had to call my mom, tell my mom to come to my house. That was weird. Should have did that. That was stupid.
Your mom fanned out over Charlie Wilson?
Absolutely. He got uncomfortable. He left right after that. It wasn't fun. Shouldn't have did that.
Again, man, like I said, the whole industry, and we're going to talk about that some more, but the whole industry, I feel like if you didn't have a T-Pain feature, it was like, what were you doing?
I
for a couple
I feel
years?
like that too, man. It was like, if you didn't have one Timberland beat on your album,
Right.
like it just wasn't, but I'm glad I got to that status, man, because it proved the point that I didn't really need to do what everybody else wanted me to do.
Right.
And I would still, be able to make some friction in the game and still be who I am and still not give a shit what everybody was saying about me. So, yeah.
One guy who you became an important collaborator for, and if you really think back and you know this to be true, we know DJ Khaled now as
For
the
sure.
father of the facade. I think I seen Khaled in the Spider-Man movie. Like, Khaled is everywhere. He's selling soy milk. Like, Khaled is everywhere. But I mean, you guys were doing joints like, when Khaled is really trying to prove to the world and the game, like, yo, I'm a DJ, but I'm an artist
Right.
as well. I mean, you guys are doing Welcome to My Hood, I'm So
Yeah,
Hood.
yeah.
What's your relationship with Khaled like? How did you and Khaled hook up?
Khaled, when he came, the first time I met him, he came to the studio and he came with a bunch of food, and I didn't know why. But apparently it was like, yo, I got this song I want you to do. Here's an offering kind of thing. Like, goddamn Native American or something. I don't know. He just came in offering water and tobacco and shit. I don't know, man. But no, he was super energetic. I didn't understand it at the time because all I've ever only heard him on the radio in Miami, and I was living in Miami at the time. But he came through. He showed me a bunch of his joints and was like, "Man, I just want you to do this real quick." And I mean, I ate the food, so I had to do it. So.
Felt obligated. What was the song?
Absolutely.
What was the first song?
The first song was I'm So Hood.
I'm So Hood.
Yeah, and I did that and Two Step the same night. So that was,
Wow.
that
Wow.
was pretty cool. I did a lot of songs the same night. Low with Flo Rida and Shawty with Plaza the same night.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Classic. Damn.
When you're on fire, you just keep going. You know?
He just say that. I'm lucky I don't get fired from my job in one day. He said out here making 2 classics in one night. I'm just trying to keep my head above water, brother.
You gotta step lightly. Just,
2010, man. Again, when we talk about generations, I think our parents, when you go to sporting events and they have Queen, We Will Rock You, right?
For sure.
And that's the staple.
Yeah.
And I think we have one that you and Khaled gave us.
Oh, boy.
Sporting events. It's even presidential. Can we we don't acknowledge Trump. Can we check out Obama?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
yeah.
How do you like my new entrance music?
Fucking
First of
right.
all, was he about to Millie Rock? I thought he was about to bust
He
in the
was
Millie
about
Rock
to bust one out.
3 years too early.
About to go crazy. Fucking right, Barry. There you go. Barry O.
How did that moment feel, man, when Barack came out to said, "This is my new theme music"?
That was cool as shit, man. That was about the coolest thing I done had happen in a while. And I got kids. Ain't that fucked up? seeing that, man. It's a level. It's levels that you reach in life, and that was a big milestone for me, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, things start happening more. You know, corporations start calling me more. The prices of my shows went up. It got crazy. It was just a lot happening to where that stapled a point in my life that kind of made sure I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like that seeing that at that moment was like, all right, we good now. We straight. Let's make more. Let's do more of these.
I always wondered how that song kind of came about, and Khaled came to Genius one day, and I asked him. So I just want to see from Khaled's perspective of how that song was made, and then we're gonna ask your perspective. Can we roll, Khaled?
I finally had to tell Payne, yo, bro, we gotta get this done. Like, he had too many people in the studio. He got all type of crazy shit. He wanted me to watch cartoons. I couldn't take it. I was like,
He watched SpongeBob.
Yeah, I was like, I said, Payne, not today. We have to record. So we put the beat up, and Payne just goes right in the booth. And you know the talk button? Mm-hmm. That you talk back to the mic booth? And he's like, yo, Cal, the way me and Payne make records, he always wants me to give him my vibe, my talk. Like, what you about right now? Mm-hmm. And I just kept telling Payne, man, we gotta win, man. Like, 'cause I was like, I gotta turn my album in. We gotta fucking win, man. Like, we gotta win. So, you know, he goes in there and he just goes, all I do is win, win. I'm not lying. And then he stops. He goes, I'm like, oh shit, that's dope. Then the next part, he keeps going. Every time we have a conversation, I record. And he just keeps going. And I remember that part where he goes, hands go up. That's when he said, yo, mute out that one part right there. And then shit paused. And I'm like, oh my God, this shit is so crazy. So that's what happens when you have good energy in a room when you record with artists.
Khaled has an interesting way of telling stories, doesn't he? Was from your perspective, was it really just him kind of badgering you, like, yo, we gotta win, I gotta turn my album?
Oh, it was a lot of that. There was more food this time. It was a lot of food. It was lobster this time. That shit was crazy. Oh, he had got some money. It was crazy. But no, he was in the studio, and the way I was doing songs at the time, I would do my ad libs first. So, you know, I would listen to the beat for a while, and I was just in there, up in a building, yeah, and he didn't know what I was doing, so he was like, yo, trash. And I'm like, yo, just give me a second. I'm gonna come to you in a minute. I'm setting where the rhythm needs to be at. I'm setting the points where I need to get to and need to stop at and all that stuff. So, you know, it was just a weird process, and you know, nobody in the room understood it but me, because I can hear everything in my head. So, then I was like, give me the talk, give me the, you know, and he did all that. We gotta win, and this and this and that. And then I started doing it. All I do is win. And then he kept talking, and I was like, okay, next thing. And then he kept talking. I was like, all right, Khaled, you gotta leave. You gotta get out of here.
Was it sort of though a response, like, because it's almost like him challenging you, like, yo, we gotta win, and then you're like, no, all I do is win.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of like that, but you know, the things I was thinking of and the things I was saying back to him, he kept saying, nah, that's not big. And I'm like, okay, well, what about I want to win? And it's like, nah, that's not it. What about I'm trying to win? No, that's not it. Well, goddamn, Khaled, I guess let's go. Hit the goddamn record button. So, yeah, I mean, it worked out. But, you know, I mean, Khaled gives you that motivation. Khaled really bigs you up crazy and makes you feel like you're the best fucking artist in the world when you're doing the song for him. So it definitely helped.
Well, you know, he's fucking with the best artists in the world, man. He's fucking with the genius T-Pain, man.
No cap.
Let's go, man. No cap. You mentioned Low and Shorty, you did that in the same night.
Yeah.
I think we all know, I've heard the story before about Low originally at some point ended up with Nelly, and Nelly passed on it. You guys know the story? Have you heard this? No, you don't know this?
Oh, boy. What a fucking nightmare.
I thought everybody knew this.
Goddamn nightmare of a song. So Low went to Nelly first because he had the apple bottom jeans at the time.
That's the... Yeah.
And Nelly said it was corny. So, obviously not. Then it went to Paul Wall. And Paul Wall actually did 3 verses on it. He had the whole song done. It went back to Atlantic. Atlantic sent it back out. Then it went to, I think it went to Webby after that. No. That was Shawty.
Shorty went to Webby.
Shawty went to Webby.
Okay, that makes a little more
okay,
Plies,
so, right,
Webby.
it turned into something else. Okay, so it went to Nelly, then Paul Wall, and then to Flo Rida.
Okay. And 10 million records later.
Yeah.
It's a diamond record.
13.
13, my bad. I lost count. But who's counting?
Get your facts together.
Were there any other record? Because you were just there kind of just cranking out hooks, right?
Yeah, it was just a full night. It was, I was in with Atlantic, and when you go in with Atlantic, they lock the doors. They don't let you leave. So
It's a factory, right? It's a machine.
Absolutely. But no, they give you a bunch of beats, and I told everybody, just leave me in here by myself. Let me get this recording going, and I'll come out with at least 10. And then I came out with 8. I lied. So that was, I came out with 8, and, 2 of them was Low and Shawty.
Right. I always love records because you always think about like what if, what could have been.
Right.
Ultimately, I think records kind of end up where they're supposed to end up.
For sure.
Are there any other stories that might surprise us where a record started in one place and ended up in another? I'm sure this happens all the time.
I could tell you about a record that would have been like the biggest record of my life that never came out.
Let's go.
And it was me, Usher, and Michael Jackson. Wow. And it would have been, yeah, so that would have been the biggest record of my fucking life, and it never came out because the dude that I had doing the reference, he leaked the record, and Michael Jackson didn't want to do it anymore since it was out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that leaked the record? Because we could get it. We could just make his life a whole living right now.
It's called Stop Playing. It's on YouTube. It's
Right.
T-Pain, Usher, Michael Jackson, Stop Playing. It's fucking, it was a crazy record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sucks.
I wish I had it. Damn, man. You see what happened? You start setting up expectations. I didn't know this was news to me, too. Y'all can go look it up, though, man, for real. I want to talk about your songwriting a little bit because you talked about, kind of keeping it simple and relatable and very conversational, which I think is a hard thing to do for a lot of songwriters. To have a relatable song is everything. So I want to talk about a few kind of songwriting techniques and a few things that you do that I think we hear and we love, but we don't notice. First, we talk about low, right?
Yeah.
And when you sing low, kind of the vocal production, your voice goes low, low, low.
Yeah.
Or up, down. It's up, down.
Yeah.
Or Chopped and Screwed, one of the kind of the best, most underrated T-Pain songs there is. You chop and screw your vocals as you're singing Chopped and Screwed.
Yeah. That song was originally supposed to be screwed. We actually slowed it down like a lot. And they were just like, how the fuck are you going to perform this? And I didn't think about that. Just go ahead and speed it back up. Do the regular thing.
The Texas tour, you be good. You just tour around Texas. You be all right.
It would have been difficult.
Where does that come from, though, like the idea to do that? Because you do that often. And again, it's one of those subtle things that I think as a listener you don't notice, but it really adds to the record with that vocal
Sometimes
production.
I think of, having different people to help me out with references to things. And just from the sheer disinterest of wanting to pay for that, I just kind of do it myself. and I try to make different voices, and just give it a dynamic of more than one person doing this, because I feel like when people listen to a song, you really participate with the parts that sound like it's a bunch of people doing it, because it sounds like it's supposed to be a crowd, and those are the ones you stick the mic out in the crowd, and everybody knows to say that part. So I feel like when you do different things like that, it gives them a sense of, well, that sounds like a different person. I can probably do that too. And that, I think that gives people more confidence to shout things out at concerts and learn that specific part of a song or something like that. I just got a weird way of thinking, and I'm usually drunk as shit when I think about things like that. So yeah, it worked.
It's creative. It's super creative. I ain't know no way I didn't want to insult you.
This was a good transition.
It's excellent. This came from God. You have a lot of songs about alcohol, my friend. When you talk about buy you a drink,
right,
bartender, drinking partner, one more drink with Luda, blame it on the alcohol with Jamie Foxx, man.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of bring it up because we talk about the simplicity of songwriting.
Yeah.
And and simplicity could be great. I don't know if there's no more of a simple, great lyric than this next one. Can we show this? From Bartender. She made us drinks to drink them. We drunk them. Got drunk.
William motherfucking Shakespeare. Okay? That's a solid line. You gotta say, man.
Yeah. It works.
It's exactly what happened.
Do you ever get? Listen, man. There's a lot of motherfuckers who wish they could have wrote that line. Do you ever get to a point, like maybe in your own head, where you feel like where you might overthink a lyric, or does it all kind of come out?
Oh,
as clean as
absolutely.
this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always trying to do extra shit, because everybody want to be a lyricist, man, and it's one of them things that when you pay too much attention to it, that means nobody's gonna pay attention to it, because it's just too much. It's just too much thought. People want to have fun, especially on songs like Bartender and stuff like that. I'm not trying to make you think. You're already drunk. I'm not trying to make you do anything. Like I don't sound like a dick right now, but I got a club in my house, right? And then we got it's a good place to test the songs out.
We could have just done the interview there, man.
We should have. But now I got a club in the house, and it's like there's 13 TVs on the wall. So, when buying these 13 TVs, I'm like, they gotta be 4K. They gotta fucking do this. They gotta be smart TVs. I'm like, wait a minute. No, they don't. Everybody's gonna be drunk. Nobody's gonna be fucking watching these TVs. Right. And if you are watching these TVs, you're not gonna be able to see in fucking 4K because you're gonna be drunk and shit.
Right.
So it's like if you think too much about it and you do too much, and you're in the club. I'm trying to host a party, and I'm like, why's nobody watching these damn TVs? It's probably because it's porn, but still. But the point is, it's 4K, and I'm trying to throw a good party here.
Porn in 4K is a bit.
It's different, man.
Hold on. I want to talk about another. Let me pour up first, man.
Go
Get
ahead,
right.
keep going. No,
Okay. We're recording this too, by the way.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I want to ask about another. Again, man, very simple, but sometimes like the simplest stuff sticks, right? I can't believe it. Can we show that lyric? Put you in a mansion somewhere in Wisconsin. Now, I'll have you know, shout out to Opie, who works here on the Genius team, one of the leads in our video department, and he's actually from Wisconsin. And he was a little offended by this line. That's not how you say it.
But what he has to acknowledge is that people from Wisconsin say Wisconsin. They do all the time. They say remember Bobby's World, the mom on Bobby's World? I don't want you to know, they talk like they're from Montana or some shit. And it turns into this whole different thing. That, first of all, great line. Let's start with that. Let's fucking start with that. I mean, that was one of them things, man. That was one of my Andre 3000 moments. And I felt like I could make anything rhyme. Just do whatever I wanted to.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the only person that's done that. But every time I've gone to Wisconsin, that's how they say Wisconsin.
Right. And no, it became a thing. I mean, you're selling Wisconsin shirts now. I see everybody with the Wisconsin
Absolutely.
joints. Did you know, okay, so in the studio and doing this, did you know that would be a thing?
Not even a little. Not even a little bit. I skipped right over that. I was just in my vibe, man, and even with the simplicity. Now, when we talk about simplicity, the track, this whole session, the whole entire session to Can't Believe It was 6 tracks, the whole thing. And I went to work with Dr. Luke after this, and he was like, "Man, your track sounds so big." And I'm looking at his session. He's got 200 tracks on his session, and it sounds just like mine. I'm like, what are you doing? And, I'm trying to teach him simplicity. I pulled up the session, and he's like, "Man, 6 tracks, huh? That's fucked up." And so, it was just simplicity at its finest, man. And just going, just whatever was in my heart, man. I just lay it down. If it's on my heart and it's that easy to get out, and then I feel good afterwards, then people are going to feel good hearing it,
Typically, how long does it take you to make a song? Or like, there's some artists, and I ask who be like, you know, if I spend too long on the song, I just move on.
Nah. Oh boy, just spending long on a song. Jesus Christ, Kanye is the king of that shit.
We got a whole 808 section.
We got a whole Kanye section. No, but that particular song probably took 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was from start to finish. That was, you know, making the beat, recording on it, and everything. So
I want to start to ask you. We're talking about this sound. We're talking about this method of songwriting, this style, you know, the auto-tune. And like I said, it's not just auto-tune, it's the way of songwriting.
Right.
And when did you first start to notice, because you're like omnipresent, like I said, every time you turn on the radio, you hear T-Pain. When did you first start to notice that you weren't the only artist doing it? When did you start to notice your influence?
when they started thinking that anybody who used auto-tune was T-Pain. You know, it was a lot of, you know, I would always get Google alerts and shit, like, T-Pain's new song, and I'm like, this, I don't know what the fuck this is. So, and then what really kicked it off was when Snoop used it on the Sensual Seduction.
Sensual Seduction.
Yeah. When he used it, I was like, you know, that's kind of fucked up, but it is Snoop. Kind of got to let him do it. But it was, I mean, it was just like, again, that was another milestone, a staple in my life. But, you know, it started becoming more and more, and once Snoop was allowed to do it, then everybody was like, oh, I guess, we can do that too? Nobody's going to say we biting? Let's do it.
Plug
shit.
it.
And then
Plug
fuck
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah, you know, because, you know, the influence, you know, I think influencing young artists is kind of like the natural order of things, right? Like if you grew up on T-Pain, then you'll kind of adopt some of his style. But, you know, there were guys in the game who were already super established megastars adopting the style. One, and there's a video out there, I'm not making this up, was Diddy when he did Last Train to Paris. There's a video saying that he was going to give you half a point. I don't even know if we talk about points anymore when we talk about albums.
Right, not at all.
He said he was going to give you half a point on his album.
Yeah.
For blessing him and allowing him or blessing him to use auto-tune.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Did you ever get that check? Did he pay out?
I did get the check.
Oh,
Yeah,
give
he
it
wasn't
up!
bullshitting. He wasn't bullshitting. Shout out to Diddy.
Give it up for Diddy. I thought that story was going to go left.
No, I got the check, man. I mean,
I've heard
you know,
stories.
Yeah, it happens, man. But no, he stayed true to his word. You know, Diddy a boss in all aspects. So it turned into something that I can look back on and like, oh, okay, well, somebody showed respect, somebody paid homage to it, and you know, it was a respect thing. So you know, once I worked with him, I mean, I worked with him for 10 days on that album, you know, and just showed him the ropes, and you know, Don Richards was in there with me a lot, and we just kept going and kept doing different things, and I mean, it really worked out. I helped him a lot, and a lot of shit came out of it. So yeah,
That's dope, man. That's super dope. Kanye West is another one, and you see in interviews, you know, you guys collaborated on Good Life.
yeah.
And I think it was an interview with Jeff Basker where one of Kanye's producers had talked about Kanye would perform Good Life, and obviously you weren't on tour with him. So, you know, that's when he first started messing around with auto-tune on stage. And, you know, after graduation, we come into 808s and Heartbreaks.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's always kind of been reported that you were in the studio with him.
Yeah, for sure.
But what did you guys actually work on during those 808 sessions?
Everything. We had writing sessions. You know what I'm saying? I was in there helping with the you know, a lot of the 808s, you know, and he said he wanted that sound from my first album.
Right.
So, you know, I brought all the stuff that I used to make my first album, which was pretty much just fucking garage band. But hey, you know, trade secret, I guess. And no, I just helped him out and just, you know, showed him how, you know, what vibes and what feelings I had making my first album, and it kind of just migrated over to 808s and Heartbreaks.
That's insane, man. And you know, 808, I think, is one of those pivotal albums.
Yeah.
Because you know, Cudi was a part of that album too, and that's kind of the birth of Cudi, the very like infant before Cudi becomes who he is, and
Right.
and you know, Cudi is super influential to this generation of artists. You know, I think about a year after we get 808s, we also get Drake's So Far Gone. And Drake has been very vocal about Kanye's influence on him.
Yeah.
But then when you look at that T-Pain influence Kanye to do that album, I don't know if you see what I'm getting at. Like it's this really influenced, this almost like a DNA that weaves through artists and it spreads. But at the end of the day, your DNA is kind of one of the biggest artists today.
Absolutely. I mean, it really came down to the same fact of what Kanye told me. Like, you know, he said to me that 808s and Heartbreaks is Rapper Turn Singer. Because Rapper Turn Singer was a bunch of love songs with a ton of bass in them. And I'm making love songs with bass, love songs being the heartbreak, 808s being the bass. So, in a sense, we just kind of remade Rapper Turn Singer, but, you know, in all honesty, just like Kanye said, he just had a better marketing plan. He's like, you ain't marketed right, is what happened. So, yeah, I'm like, hey, as long as I got something to do with it, I'm fine. I know in my heart where all this came from, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know what has influenced the new style of music and what you really came. But, you know, people can say, oh, no, I was listening to this guy. I wasn't even listening to you. But, yeah, but that guy got this shit from me. So,
right. The DNA's in there. Like, I know there's this concept of there's a very specific way that you use auto-tune.
Yeah.
And not everybody, there's a right way and a wrong way to use it?
It's just no, it's not a right and a wrong way. There's just a more efficient way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going in and just singing and then slapping auto-tune afterwards, you definitely want to see what notes you can hit and what notes you want to stay away from and where the grace notes are and things like that. You want to study before you take the test. That's really all it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it turns out just much better when you actually fucking take your time and make sure it's right first, instead of getting in the booth and saying, turn on the auto-tune. And the engineer doesn't know music or keys or progressions or anything like that, so you don't know what key to put it on. You just slam it on chromatic, and anything you do, that's how it's coming out. So it's just a more efficient way to make it come out right.
Have to speak to my engineer.
Trash.
Jokes, it's all jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man. Another collaborator. And you guys have such an amazing relationship. Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it up from Got Money.
Easy.
Can't believe it. There was an entire T Wayne album. You got a new one on One Up, your new album, Go Talk,
Absolutely.
which is my favorite joint on the album because you're talking that shit. What were the sessions like with Wayne? When did you realize, because you and Wayne have a real good camaraderie, when did you realize that you and Wayne clicked? Like, was there a specific studio session or a specific song when you were like, oh shit, like our styles really mesh?
I think it was more so when, I don't think we knew we meshed as well until we went on tour together. Because once we got on stage together, then we found out we both performed just alike. And we, you know what I'm saying, we started doing the same thing on the same part without even talking to each other. And it was just like, oh shit, what? And then we got, we became, better friends after that. But that's really when the T Wayne stuff started happening a lot more, because we did the T Wayne album on tour. We both had studios on our tour buses, so we would just go back and forth between each bus, and we would literally take turns. Like, we would say, I did the last verse, it's your turn to do the next one. You got to come with the song with a verse on it, I'll put a hook on it, then it's my turn again. And we just kept going back and forth. But I think we found that synergy from just being around each other so much, and pretty much having to, because we was on tour. And it turned into a friendship that neither one of us really planned on having. It was very annoying trying to keep up with each other, and it never turned competitive. It was always like, this is gonna be fucking great. We're gonna make a ton of money together. It never turned into, I'm gonna out rap you on this song. I'm gonna try to out sing you or out auto tune you on anything. It was just like, let's make music, nigga. Like, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Let's fucking be the friends we are. It don't have to turn into nothing.
And the T Wayne, give it up for that, man, because that's awesome. And the T Wayne album we eventually got, I don't know, we didn't get it in real time, so to speak. Obviously, there's business, but now there's talk of T Wayne 2.
T Wayne 2 is definitely.
Is that a real thing?
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of holding it up right now.
You're the holder.
Yeah, because I'm on tour now. You know what I'm saying? I'm on tour, and I don't really have time to. I like doing my shit in my crib now. I just renovated my whole studio, so I like being at the crib by myself, doors locked, chilling, no influence, TV's off or on porn, either one. It don't matter. And porn is very powerful for the brain. You should watch it more. You should really watch it more. It's just a thing to do.
In 4K.
In 4K. My data plan is on fire right now.
I just want to go into a time. Jay-Z, DOA, Death of Auto-Tune.
Yeah.
What was that time like for you? You know, did you feel that was? I was there at that Summer Jam, and it was weird.
It was weird. It was weird. Yeah.
Did you feel that was directed at you? Did you feel like, damn, they really?
Well, no, I came out at the Summer Jam to support it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I came out and I just wanted, because I knew he was gonna be there, and you know, I was basically like, let me know when you're performing the song. I'm gonna go support it. Ebro set it up. Ebro talked to whoever he talked to. Like, ain't nobody just getting on stage with Jay-Z, bro.
Right.
Like, he ain't just about to walk up and say, I'm going on stage, and
We see some crazy shit happen at Summer Jam, man.
I mean, but you know, he had the fruit of Islam with him. Like, you know, those niggas in suits, it's big niggas. You got to pass through like levels of security. Like shit got up to top secret. And when I came through, somebody yelled out T-Pain coming through, and they fucking parted the Red Sea and made sure I can get on the stage. Like, and then they let me out there. You ain't just about to get up on the stage, especially when it's like Summer Jam. First of all, Summer Jam security by itself is too much. And then you got the fucking everybody that has ever heard of Malcolm X in the back, and it's just you got to get through all that. It's like this Soul Train line of suits and shit, and I'm trying to get to. But it was. I mean, it was. I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was already talked about. It was apparently already set up.
Right.
Once somebody yelled out T-Pain coming through, everybody split apart. It was like, here you go. That's the way you go to do what we already talked about you doing.
Okay.
So, you know, when I went up there to support it. I don't think anybody told Jay. That was the part.
That's a real important part. That's a crucial.
It's a very important part of the whole thing. You're definitely going to want to tell them that I'm coming out there. But, yeah, I mean... No, I mean, I think it worked out the way it was supposed to. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even in the song, you say y'all T-Painting too much. But, you know, I didn't listen to that part when the song first came out. So when I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck did I do? You knocking my hustle.
Could that have been him giving credit to you? And I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is T-Pain shit. Y'all are T-Paining too much.
Right, that's what I'm saying. When I first heard the song, I didn't even pay attention to him saying that. I didn't even know he said my name in the song. I was just so shocked, like, why is it, what the fuck, man? So, but you know, once I sat down to listen to it, I was like, oh, he's talking about rappers. Right. Okay, I get that. Song didn't work though.
The perception is that, you know, because Jay had the reputation of, if he says, yo, we're not wearing jerseys no more, we're wearing button-ups, it changed. He made the Yankee hat more famous than the Yankee did. Yeah. Platinum Jury. We give Jay a credit for a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And the perception is, and I don't think this is the reality because Auto-Tune never went anywhere, but the perception was that Death of Auto-Tune was supposed to stop the trend. Mm-hmm. Did it affect you in any way? Did you see any slowdown at that point?
Was it the shit out of me? Yeah. Yeah. But nah, I mean, and the crazy thing was I was on so much music at that point. We was already planning on fucking like stopping. Now I was gonna disappear for a while because I was on so much music. I really started getting oversaturated. Right. And it turned into this whole T-Pain is on too much shit. Radio stations complaining, they pulling my records off because that, you know, as you know, like in radio stations, they got the separator joint to where they make sure they don't play too much of an artist right after each other. Right. But if my name is on every song, then the fucking machine is shutting down. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the actual machine is just shutting down and they're not able to not play me back to back. So it's trash.
Yeah, it was trash.
This has to catch on tonight. Everybody hashtag that when you leave here, please. Just don't tell your friends what happened. Trash. But you know, so I was actually planning on like getting Ghost for a while. So it was already in place for me to do that. But at the same time, when that song happened, it happened like 2 months before we were planning to do it. And it just seemed like I disappeared because of the song. Wow. So, you know, it turned into Jay-Z killed your career and people started to believe this whole thing. And, you know, and then Kanye kept using auto-tune and we was like, wait a minute. That's your boy. That's what that.
I feel like it was a little setup. It's like, man, get him out the way.
Mans. So I didn't know, but you know, it affected me through the fans' eyes. Right. Not my fans. Just, you know, it affected through the public eye. But I knew what the truth was, and I wasn't affected mentally by it or anything like that. It just was like, guys, the internet's crazy. I just could not deal with the internet, so I had to get off of that for a while.
So you got this new album, One Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
On it,
Oh, yeah.
On it, my favorite song, and first of all, I have two favorites. It's my dog's birthday.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Because I close my eyes and all I see is just canines running around in the club,
Absolutely.
smoking hookah, dancing with women, with humans.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an amazing song.
Thank you. We're doing a campaign with BarkBox, by the way. They're actually shooting the video for us. So it actually is going to be a dog's birthday. So if you want your dog to be in the video, just follow me on Instagram and just follow instructions. That's all it is. we're currently casting dogs, if you didn't get what I was saying.
What a plug. It was smooth. That was smooth. It was a good set. It's like,
Trying to get some bitches from a video. It'd be weird if I didn't say it. I had to say it. There's a joke that had to be made. Got to get them bitches in your video.
Another song, my favorite song of the album is Goat Talk with Lil Wayne. Can we hear a little bit of Goat Talk?
Let's hear a little bit of Go Talk.
Worldwide nigga, but I'm so south. You say you gotta hear from the goat mouth. That's that go talk. That's that go talk. That's that go talk. Yeah, go talk.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
There's nothing humble on this.
Nah, fuck that. None of that shit.
What made you go on? What did you see that said, you know what, this is the feeling for today?
I think there hasn't been a song like that I've done. You know what I'm saying? Any song that I'm always talking about my career, anything like that, it comes off as complaining. It comes off as, y'all try to take my shit, and why would you do that? Oh my God, oh no. But nah, that one was just like, you know what? Fuck this shit, man. Fuck this shit. Fuck y'all niggas. Fuck this whole thing. I'm the goddamn goat, and that's just what it is.
And give it up. Come on. That's why we're here tonight.
Thank you.
And Wayne is kind of the perfect feature because I feel like Wayne, when you talk about the influence, I once saw an artist on Twitter like, yo, man, we started all that, multiple mixtapes in 1 year.
Oh, boy.
And I'm just like, have we heard of Michael Dwayne Carter?
Right.
And before him there was 50 Cent. Wayne is definitely a guy who I think has influenced an entire generation.
For sure.
And, I understand the younger generation wants their own credit, and deservedly so.
Right.
But you can't disrespect Wayne
You just
for
can't.
everything.
You just can't.
What was the reason that you called Wayne and that you thought Wayne would be great for this song?
Because he's, he's also one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? So, and we came together to create a force that has not been, it's just yet to have been met. So, when T Wayne get together, it's something different. It's too many different genres. There's too many different angles to come at the game, and you just can't fuck with T Wayne at all. So, if I was gonna talk my shit, I'm gonna need the other side of T Wayne to talk that shit too. And and I know he got something to say, and I know he just went through all his legal issues, and he just went through the label issues and shit like that. This man has he got something to say. So I know this. I'm like, don't hold back. Fuck these niggas. Anybody talk that shit? It's me and you. We good. Talk your shit, bro, and keep talking that bitch after the beat go off, and just keep going. Just keep going as long as you want to. That's my favorite thing that Wayne do. He don't let the beat stop him. You know what I'm saying? Even when he's doing award shows, and you know what I'm saying, he'll throw a whole nother verse after he's supposed to stop performing. Like, I'm like, just do that.
Right.
Just do that, but talk your shit the whole time. Fuck these niggas.
And there's a lyric on this song that I think encapsulates everything what we're talking about.
All right.
I made a whole career of me having to save niggas.
Yep.
And they turned their back on me, and I forgave niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Talk about the save part. Like, it goes back to...
that's back then, man, they called me Music Out There Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I was the music Jesus, man. You want to get saved, come to the church of T-Pain, and I'll slam you a hook on there, and I'll make sure you're good for at least 3 more years. You'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what happened, man. And I did a lot of that for a lot of people. And when it was basically my turn to return the favor, because And a lot of people, when they hear "Return the Favor," they feel like, oh, you just want them to get back on your song. But a lot of people don't know. Most of those features I did back in 2008 and 9 and 10, I did all of them for free. And,
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did all of them for free, and all I wanted you to do was get back on my shit. That's it. I just wanted to even swap because I was going to charge you just as much as you charged me. So, trash.
No.
So I did a lot of stuff for free, and then, nothing was reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? But even if I got somebody to even try to be on the song, they come back and charge, and I'm like, well, remember the... Remember the thing I did the other yeah, let's go ahead and not charge me there, bro. And they just wouldn't do it.
This is rappers might truly be the worst people on earth. Jesus Christ. Whoa.
Big trash.
You want to air them out? We got the stage, man. Who we talking about?
So everybody did literally. Like, I can't even, like, it's, there have been like, I got on a song. I can't even remember what it was now, but I basically got on a song with two artists. I did the hook on it, and the main artist didn't want the song anymore, so it became my song. And the other artist that was featured on it didn't want to be on it anymore because it was just me.
Wow.
Big trash. Yeah, and then the artist that the song belonged to in the first place, he flopped crazy. My shit went double platinum. He suck it.
So yo, shit. So how do you get to the point of forgiving?
I just said fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I just said whatever, dude. Like that ain't, my life doesn't run off of your emotions. You know what I'm saying? And the things that you do for me don't define me. So, I've been doing this by myself for a long time. I'm always in the studio by myself. I don't really need your big ups. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need your help. I don't need your feature. I don't need it. I mean, you needed me first, and that was the only reason you got my feature. It's because you came and asked for it, which means you needed me, which means you benefited from me. I probably wouldn't even benefit from you anyway, so fuck it.
Y'all got to give it up, man, because if they don't got you, we got you, Payne. Like, I swear
Thank
to
you,
God.
man. Thank you.
The new album, congratulations on the new album,
Thank you,
One
thank
Up,
you,
man.
thank you.
What was the statement you were trying to make with the One Up, man? I know you heavily into your video games.
Yeah, I'm into video games a lot, man. I'm an avid
You whooped
gamer.
my ass in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I sure did. You did not see that shit coming.
No.
But no, man, I'm real big into video games. If everybody know about One Up, it's the green mushroom from Mario. And basically, when you get that green mushroom, you get an extra life, and you get another chance to beat the game. So that's where One Up came from.
Okay, so this a new chapter of T-Pain's
this is
career.
my extra life. And if nobody noticed my shadow on just want to let you know, just real quick.
That's hard. You got the album cover you wanted this time.
Yeah, actually got the album cover I wanted. So everything's on there, man. The whole walk of life, all the Grammys, the big ass chain, which is coming back, by the way. How about that guy? Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Big ass chain is coming back. It just got finished. Got to go pick it up. Top hats, all the plaques, the red cups. Got to keep them on me. It's all a part of it, man. It's a part of the journey,
That's dope, man. Lastly, man, and I just want to kind of sum it up with, we talked about a lot, and it was very important when we were doing research and really figuring out how this conversation was going to go, that it wasn't just about auto-tune. We built this as the voice that changed pop music, and it wasn't a slight to you, but I think to say the voice that changed hip-hop or the voice that changed R&B wasn't fitting. It's all popular music. Your voice changed, and auto-tune was a part of that, but, we talked about your songwriting and the simplicity and the honesty of your songwriting and the humor. And the image that you would put on the sunglasses or the top hat for 3 rings, and your look would tie into actually what the music sound like, the singing and the rapping. When T-Pain is remembered and when we're far off in the future and we start to look back on T-Pain's career, what do you really want to be remembered for?
Probably, man, just trying to be true to everybody and keeping it real with myself, and really trying to spread love instead of this fuck shit that everybody else trying to, all this just toxicity and that everybody trying to spread these days, and it's ridiculous, man. It is so much, and trying to put light on good news instead of controlling my crowd with fear and things like that. Like I don't know, man. Not following I want to be seen as a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you see me with the man purse, with the Louis Vuitton man purse, and you know what I'm saying, I supposed to pull out a ton of fucking money, and then niggas be like, oh, you about to pull out 10 grand out that bitch, and I open it up, and I just pull out a Nintendo Switch. Like, it's not. It's not. I just don't feel like carrying it, my nigga. It's just, it's different things. Like I just want to be seen as T-Pain. You know, I feel like there will be many more of me, but I feel like I just want to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Just a good person. Just a good person. Anytime I've done a concert or anything like that, or anybody said anything about me on Reddit or anything like that, it's always, I met T-Pain. That's a real fucking good, nice person. Right. Like, I always want that to be the case. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to be remembered. Not being famous, not the music or anything like that. When you look back, that dude was cool as shit.
Right. Nah, that's a fact. We can attest to that, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, are you cool when you hear, because again, like I said, I hear music and I can hear your influence, whether it was a direct influence or something that you set in motion. You know, I think I have this theory that rappers are using a lot more melody than they were. And you weren't the first, like Ja Rule sang, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Biz Markie sang a little bit. We can go back. Singing has always been a part of hip hop. But now rappers use a lot more melody than they ever used. Mm-hmm. And singers use a lot more rap cadences. And everything gets kind of pushed to the middle. This rapper-singer hybrid. And I think you were a big part of that. When I listen to artists like Travis Scott, Lil Baby, you know, even Drake, guys who are doing tremendous things on their own.
Absolutely.
I can still hear a little bit of T-Pain
for sure.
in it. Do you hear that, and does that make you proud?
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes me super proud to know that, you know, something I started that can, you know, not so much started, but something I made popular and really influenced the new sound and the new genre. We made our own genre now. You know, I don't know why, but people still call me a rapper, even if I'm singing on a song and I have a rapper rapping and you can hear the vast difference in what these things are happening. Nope, you still rapping. No, that's so, you know, I still feel like there's a connect there with everything. It's all a web. It's all brackets. Everything is connected, man. And, you know, I used to be jealous of it. And I used to be, you know, envious and I used to hate it. But now that I'm just a more mature person, now it's flattering. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's flattering. Now it's turned into a gift and a trophy now. You know what I'm saying? Now I can, you know, even my kids hear it like, oh yeah, I don't know who that is, but that he listens to you a lot. So and you can hear it now, man, and it's turned into trophies now. It's turned into that's me, I did that, that's me, and it feels better. And it feels more like flattery other than, you know, somebody just biting my shit.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Yo, Pain, I'm so glad we got to do this. We wanted to do this for a while. I think you are one of the GOATs in this industry, one of the GOATs in this music, in this genre, in this culture. And we wanted to give you your props here at Genius Level. So everybody please, man, stand up. Give it up for my man T-Pain, the genius.
Yeah, hey, you ain't know about it, bitch, you know